Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today you can see I am reviewing another screener. Now, this is one when I was offered it. This was offered to me in an email where I got like a ton of screeners sent to me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna say yes to all of them. And when I saw the movie poster for it, I'm like, I love it and I hate it, and I love it and I hate it. So I had no idea what was going to happen when I watched this film. So let's just get into my thoughts, shall we? Medusa, also known as Medusa, Queen of the Serpents, is a 2021 UK horror film directed by Matthew B.C. and written by Matthew B.C. and Scott Jeffrey. In it, after being bitten by a snake, a young lady's life begins to take a sharp turn for the worst as a deadly virus plagues her body. Now, I'm not new to independent horror movies. I've seen enough to last me a lifetime, but one thing you have to think about going in is that they operate on a much smaller scale and budget than big studio films. And with all that in mind, and reflecting on some other indie horror films I've seen, this one isn't too shabby. They've picked a simple setting, but one they can utilize in clever ways so it appears a bit less basic than it is, and the cast actually give really good performances on top of that. No one is going to be winning any Oscars, but they were all hitting the right levels, they were keeping me engaged, the flow was really good, and I felt everyone had believable chemistry. Now, a couple of the actors in this film I've seen in other films, like Megan Purvis, who plays our lead, Nicola Wright, and Amanda Jade Tyler. One of the films I saw them in recently was Hatched, and you can see the difference between these two films. Both low budget, but both delivering vastly different performances. I felt the performances were very weak in that film, but in this they are exactly how they should be, and I feel that comes down to the director, which means in this case we had a good director who gave good direction. You know, key job description in the name. It's still scary or gruesome, it is more on the supernatural side than I thought it would be, and I genuinely have no issue with what the story is. The problem is in how it's depicted, and it's not that big an issue. We're watching Carly, the lead, go through this metamorphosis, and that's cool, but the why is never explained, and then parts of the why and how come more into light in the final couple minutes of the film, even in the last line of the film, and I was honestly a bit disappointed by that, because I think the cult and mystical aspects of the story should have been more prominent in the story and would have given us far more context to what is happening to Carly, instead of us trying to understand why someone being bitten by a regular snake is turning her into a snake. That's where the story left it until the last minute, and that was a missed opportunity. If you focus more on a cult that worships Medusa, trying to have her reincarnated in a new form, suddenly things become a lot more interesting, and I'd have been all for it, especially because I love films giving a twist to mythological beings. The film focuses more on Carly's personal story about her and these women who are unwanted by society, who are mistreated, and no one cares, and they have stopped caring about themselves and don't even see fighting back as an option. Then Carly finds power and starts to turn the tables. Those are really good elements to have in your story, and I don't know if it's intended, but if they had balanced things out more, Carly's story and Medusa's story could have really come together to create something wonderful. In Greek mythology, Medusa was a beautiful woman who was raped by the god Poseidon in the temple of Athena. Athena was enraged by the desecration of her temple that she cursed Medusa, turning her into the beast we all know. That seems very in keeping of the times, women punished for being victims, sounds about right. So to see this film about a sex worker taking on the form of Medusa and punishing those who would dare hurt her or other women and use their beauty and sexuality against them is rather poetic and very in keeping with the legend, but alas, they really only gave us half of what the story's potential was. For an indie film, the makeup and prosthetic work was actually really good. I've seen some atrocious special effects, but this one I'd give 2 thumbs up. I was impressed by how seamless some of the prosthetics were. Special effects might not be amazing, but again, I've seen indie films of all walks of life, and this one is beating out most of them in terms of quality. It's not wow, and it didn't rock my world, but I'm still impressed by what this film was able to achieve. It could have gone so much further. There was the making of a brilliant story that they just didn't balance it out and focused on the wrong parts. I think all this needed was some finessing, and it would have been even better, but for what it is, I actually kind of enjoyed it. Nice job, guys. Yeah, I actually really like the poster, but again, it's one of those posters that looks more like maybe a game poster than it does a movie poster. And yet I was just like, oh god, this is probably going to be really bad. But no, it's not bad. You know, I did come across one other review, and the person really was tearing it apart. And I'm just like, and then they were comparing it to like B horror films from back in the day, and I'm just like, okay, those films kind of knew what they were doing, and there was a lot of charm to them, and I don't consider this a B horror movie. This is just people doing the best they could with what little they had, and I actually think for that they did a really good job. You know, I wasn't going in expecting, you know, Avengers Endgame quality, and I was expecting far worse than what I got. So based on that, you know, I think that these guys, kudos to them. Yeah, it, like I said, it just needed some finessing, because there was a lot more potential than what it gave itself. So that was unfortunate. So if you by any chance have seen the film Medusa, please comment below, share your thoughts on it. Let me know if you've seen it, and yeah, share your thoughts means tell me what you thought of the film if you have seen it. Or if maybe just tell me if this one intrigues you and if you'd like to see it. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this video and supporting my channel. It means the world to me. That is it for today. So wherever you are, I hope you stay safe, happy, healthy, and you are watching lots of movies or lots of TV shows, and I hope to see you in my next video. So until then, bye!